My name's Simpson, and I'm currently the Regional Mayor's Ambassador on Sustainable Travel.
What initially inspired you to get involved with sustainability?
I think I've been involved in that for most of my adult life. Certainly during the years that I was a Member of Parliament here, I think it began with issues of poverty and then housing and then energy affordability. And I guess in parliamentary terms, the big achievement was to have got the feed-in tariff amendments into the 2008 Energy Act after about 4 years of campaigning, so that we could begin the shift from unsustainable energy into renewable energy. And that wasn't just about a technology shift, that behind it is the presumption of an energy democracy and a shift from the power of big corporations to determine energy prices and energy policy, and in favor of local communities being able to drive the change into more sustainable living.
What would you say has been your proudest moment since being involved with sustainability and the transport?
I think the proudest moment comes as a process, actually, rather than a particular achievement. I think it's changing the way we think. And so far, much of our transport thinking has been around the notion that if there's a traffic problem, we need a new road. And actually, that's completely the wrong way of seeing connectivity in a 21st century context. That what we have to look at is a return to public priorities, public transport priorities, and safe transport priorities that are probably not involving new roads at all. Or if they are, they would be greenways, where public transport and active travel become the main forms of mass transport. You can see this elsewhere in Europe, where there's a return to investment in the tram, the train, electric buses, and active travel of cycling and walking. And that will not just be a more sustainable form of transport, but it will put us back in touch with each other in ways that I think we've been severely damaged over the last couple of decades.
What advice would you give to the younger generation in getting involved with sustainability? How can they do it?
What I would say to the emerging generation of activists is that the entirety of our future is in your hands. And the great news is that in the midst of an enormous crisis, change has to happen. And you can be the ones that make it happen. And there are 4 areas in which transformation is going to take place and needs to be rapid. One is in energy, and the shift entirely into renewable energy, and an energy democracy at that. The second is in food, and we need to look at more sustainable, localized food systems, where in some ways the Italian slow cities movement is a really good example, where you can get 50% reduction in your business rates for food that is grown within 50 miles of the town. And the relocalization of food growing and food processing and sharing is pivotal to what your generation can achieve. Transport is the third, and the model to reject is best exemplified in Houston in the USA, where they had terrible congestion and they thought, well, we just need more roads. So they built the world's biggest superhighway, Highway Katy, which has 26 lanes. And after 4 years, what they found was the journey into Houston was taking 20 minutes longer, and the journey back home was taking 25 minutes longer. Roads are not the answer. Cars are not the answer, but return to the public domain is the imperative of us moving together. And my final point is about us. Technology is a wonderful thing, but it's also had the ability to separate us from each other. And this comes at a time when, for young people, the pathways of apprenticeships into work have also been disappearing, and youth provision has also been disappearing. So we lose the connectivity with each other. And putting that back in place is the key to how we, or you, build a much better society than we have now. And my great excitement is, I know you can do it.